In this series, I present an interpretive framework for the legendary Tabula Smaragdina, the Emerald Tablet. It refers to a worldview centered on a transformative force, a power capable of producing what might be called wonders, miracles. The text also outlines the creation and use of an object that harnesses and amplifies this force, what would later become known as the Philosopher's Stone. Yet over the centuries, this concept became corrupted, reduced to a fantasy of easy wealth. So why should the Emerald Tablet matter to us today? It offers a perspective that is both simple and profoundly unique, that the quality of our lives is fundamentally shaped by inner coherence, that mirrors a harmonious connection with the greater reality. This perhaps is what we truly mean by wisdom. And this is the opposite of many popular esoteric practices which tend to be ways of escaping reality. The Philosopher's Stone is the symbol of this transformative worldview. The most well-known version of the Emerald Tablet is found in its first printed edition as part of an alchemical anthology titled the Alchemia, published in 1541 in Nuremberg. The text covers just one page, followed by a commentary that attempts to decode its cryptic phrases as literal descriptions of chemical processes. Yet this famous version is actually a more poetic paraphrase of an earlier 12th century Latin text, known as the Vulgata. The Vulgata appears in a work titled Liber Dabessi, or Book of Rebis. Rebis from res bina, that is dual thing, literally means a twofold substance, signifying the culmination of the alchemical opus magnum, the great work. Interestingly, Isaac Newton, who pursued alchemical studies later in life, also translated the Nuremberg edition into English. The Vulgata and other Latin versions appear to trace back to one or more Arabic texts. The earliest known form is in the 8th century work titled Book of the Secret of Creation and the Craft of Nature, a compilation of texts lost to even deeper antiquity. The book presents itself as a translation of a work by Apollonius of Tyana, though such pseudepigraphal attributions were common during the medieval period. Apollonius, called Barinus in Arabic tradition, was a wandering sage surrounded by legends of miraculous powers, revered as the master of the talismans. Additionally, a corrupted and fragmented variant from the same period is known from the writings of Jabir ibn Hayyan, later Latinized as Geber. And there is a third Arabic variant found in a 10th century work attributed to Aristotle, Secret of Secrets, which appears to be a synthesis of the two earlier Arabic sources. The Vulgata versions likely derive from this variant. In what follows, I use a translation based on the earliest known Arabic version. Later variants, like the Vulgata, contain mistranslations or additions reflecting their author's own attempts at interpretation. The most famous phrase associated with the tablet is often expressed as above, so below, which has echoed through centuries of esoteric thought. Newton himself rendered it as that which is below is like that which is above, and that which is above is like that which is below, to do the miracles of one only thing. This follows the Latin Vulgata version. Quod est inferius est sicut quod est superius, et quod est superius est sicut quod est inferius, ad perpetranda miracula rei unius. However, the original Arabic text says something entirely different. The highest from the lowest, and the lowest from the highest, the work of wonders from the one. In fact, the earlier Arabic source emphasizes the fundamental distinction between the upper and lower realms. As it later states, in it is the power of the highest and the lowest. If these realms were truly identical, there would be no need to frame them as opposite extremes. Yet even this Arabic version cannot be considered the original source, as it is likely itself a translation of an earlier Greek text. The earliest known Arabic version, translated almost word for word, is as follows. Truth, no doubt in it, correct. Indeed, the highest from the lowest, and the lowest from the highest. The work of wonders from the One, as all things were from the One by one governance. Its father is the sun, its mother is the moon. The wind carried it in her belly, the earth nourished it. Father of talismans, treasurer of wonders, complete in powers. Fire became earth, separate the earth from the fire. The subtle is nobler than the dense. With gentleness and wisdom it ascends from the earth to the sky and descends to the earth from the sky, and in it is the power of the highest and the lowest. Because with it is the light of lights, therefore the darkness flees from it. Power of powers. It overcomes every subtle thing, it enters into every dense thing. Upon the formation of the macrocosm, the work was formed. So this is my pride, and therefore I was named Hermes, tripled in wisdom. It's worth noting that the Arabic text cannot be translated unequivocally into English. For example, the same Arabic word may mean both higher and highest, and the pronouns do not differentiate between masculine and neuter genders, for example, between he and it. The text presents a worldview and describes the preparation of a magical object, specifically a stone, more precisely a semi-precious stone. All of this is given in the form of brief notes, intended merely as a private memorandum, a reminder rather than detailed instructions for sharing knowledge with others. The 15 lines can be divided into 3 groups of 5 lines each. The first 5 lines represent the origin, describing both the fundamental aspect of this worldview, a force capable of performing wonders, and the initial steps for creating the object. The central 5 lines detail the work itself, explaining how this object works and how it should be activated and used. The last 5 lines, the result, describe what results from the object's use. In the following parts, I identify likely sources influencing this worldview and reconstruct the probable historical development of the text. I also discuss additional sources, direct and indirect, that can support the interpretation of both the worldview itself and the magical object. I analyze every line in detail. Furthermore, I reconstruct a plausible sequence of concrete operations by which the magical object, the philosopher's stone itself, was created. Steps that aligns with both the cryptic verses of the Emerald Tablet and the symbolic representations of later alchemical tradition.